What's up, everybody? Matt Walrath here. If you're in the Wolfies or Guardian crypto communities, you probably know me as Matty Dubs, the Savant Wolf, the Poet Wolf, and I am here today to discuss whether or not you can get paid to actually buy a Lamborghini. Now, I know for a lot of people in the crypto space, Wen Lambo is just a meme, and I'm doing this video based off of the meme. You can insert whatever it is that you want to buy in place of the Lambo, but that is the example that I'm going to be running through today. Now, before I dive into the actual example and showing you whether or not you can actually get paid to buy something, I just want to preface this by saying, listen, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who's really interested in the world of finance, the worlds of crypto. By trade, I am a business coach and consultant for health and nutrition coaches. So my area of expertise is not necessarily in finance. It's my area of passion, and it's a really big value of mine. Especially over the last year, it's really been my top value is how to build wealth. And so I, through these videos, just want to share a little bit about what I've been learning. Think about it as a good starting place for you to start doing your own research, perhaps looking into people who know these concepts a lot better than I might. Now that we got that disclaimer out of the way, let's take a look at one of my favorite concepts that I've learned in my wealth building education. So I've got this concept, I'm calling it immortal wealth. Because to me, I see wealth as being measured in time. How long can your money last without you working before your money runs out? So if you can create immortal wealth, so essentially you and your future generations would never have to work again because of the amount of wealth that you've accumulated or assets you've accumulated, you've built immortal wealth. And part of immortal wealth is also, I believe, educating future generations about how to play the money game. So here is 4 ways that you could buy a Lamborghini. A broke person would finance it. They don't have the cash. They need to essentially get into debt to do it. Dumb money, so somebody who just happens to have cash, but they're a bit stupid with it, they would buy the Lamborghini in cash. And I'll show you why that's stupid in a second. Now, smart money, these people would buy an asset that actually creates enough cash flow to pay off the finance payments. And so they would finance it after they put a big chunk of money into an asset that creates enough cash flow to pay it off month after month. Now, immortal wealth would do things a little bit differently. And remember, immortal wealth is the big pie in the sky. That's where I want to get to. I want to make sure no future generation of mine has to work for money, that they can really just live life in their joy. So essentially they would, and I'm going to explain this, but they would put their money into an investment that earns compound interest, and they would take out a loan against their investment at an interest rate that's equal to or lower than they are earning on the investment. And that might have you scratching your head. I have an explanation that I'll get to in a second, but I want to show you why I'm saying all of these other things, broke money, dumb money, smart money, are not the way that you would want to buy a Lambo if you want to create immortal wealth. And the concept of opportunity cost is one that's going to come up a lot. So opportunity cost is essentially, all right, if you put $100 into investment A that earns 10% interest, then you might have missed out on investment B, which could have earned you 20% interest. So your opportunity cost is that 10% interest spread. So it would have been $10 if you invested $100. Opportunity cost out of the way. Let's get into each of these examples. So if you're broke and you buy a Lambo and the Lambo ticket price is $300,000 and you finance it at 6% APR over 5 years, which is pretty standard, then you're paying $6,500 per month in repayments. Over the course of those 5 years, the total cost of this Lamborghini is $390,000. You know, that doesn't even count like the depreciation that you can't write off on your taxes. But the total cost is $390,000 if you're broke and you want to buy a Lamborghini. Also doesn't take into account opportunity costs of the monthly payments. Now, dumb money Lambo. This is the person who pays cash. If the Lambo ticket price is $300,000, they pay cash. The total cost is $300,000, right? They ostensibly would have paid less than the person who was broke. But the thing is, you have to think about the opportunity cost of $300,000 invested. And 20% APR, you might be like, Matt, where the heck can I get 20% APR? A savings account only gives me 0.1%. Well, right now you could go to Anchor Protocol through the Terra ecosystem on the blockchain, and you could earn 20% on their UST, US dollar backed stablecoin. Or sorry, it's not US dollar backed, it's algorithmic, but it's pegged 1-to-1 with the US dollar. So you could earn 20% on that money without much downside risk other than getting hacked, blah, blah, blah. So that's $60,000 per year of opportunity cost. So that means that the total cost of dumb money buying a Lambo in cash is $600,000 because they paid the original $300,000, but they also, because they paid that $300,000, missed out on $60,000 per year over 5 years. And so they missed out on $300,000 that they could have earned. So they paid $600,000. But the other thing is they probably paid more than that because this $60,000 compounded year over year. Actually, this would have been more like $900,000, which is crazy. And sorry if you can hear my dishwasher going in the background. Now, smart money. This is how they buy a Lambo. So if they are going to finance it, they are going to be paying $6,500 per month. So they need to find an asset that can provide them $6,500 per month of cash flow. That way, at the end of paying off the Lambo, they still have their money that they put in the asset. So they still have their original money and they have the Lambo. So essentially there's zero total out-of-pocket cost for the Lambo. So if we're investing at 20% APR, like the prior example, you would need $390,000 invested at 20% APR to earn $6,500 per month. And so you would have your $390,000 at the end. So zero out-of-pocket expense. But there is a real cost, and that's the opportunity cost of compounding the $60,000 at 20% APY. Or sorry, it would even be more than this when I created this example. It would be the opportunity cost of compounding, what is this? Almost $80,000 at 20% APY. So the total cost over 5 years is about $280,000 and actually more of opportunity cost. So that's an important thing to understand. So dumb money, it's going to be like $900,000 it costs. Actually broke, probably not in a terrible place in comparison to dumb money. Smart money, you might end up paying $280,000, little over $300,000 in opportunity cost over the course of the 5 years. But like I said in the title of this talk, is there a way to actually get paid? Instead of paying, is there a way to get paid to buy a Lambo? And that's what Immortal Wealth would figure out how to do. Is how do I get paid to have this Lambo? So how might you do it? Other than renting that Lambo out to a bunch of wannabe internet marketers who want to put it in their Facebook ads. So with Immortal Wealth Lambo, they would take out a loan against an investment asset. So they would take out a $390,000 loan. And why $390,000 loan? Because $390,000 invested at 20% APR is going to cover $6,500 per month in costs. So that loan of $390,000 would cover all of the interest, would cover all of the Lambo payments. Now, the interest on the loan would have to be equal to or less than the return that you're getting on this $390,000 investment if you want to get paid for it. I have this drawn out on the next slide, so get ready. It'll blow your mind. So you invest $390,000 from your loan that you take out at 20% interest to make the Lambo payments. And then the arbitraged interest rate, and arbitrage means essentially you buy low, you sell high, and the difference is arbitrage. You buy something at $90, you sell it at $100, you made $10, that's your arbitrage. You can actually do the same with interest rates. If you are borrowing money for 5% and you can earn money at 20%, you are earning 15% arbitrage interest rate. All right, so the way that you can potentially earn some money to buy a Lamborghini is by thinking like a wealthy werewolf. Now, most of you that are watching this first up, you saw it in the Wolfies or the Guardian community. You're part of the wolf pack. And if you want to be immortal wealth within the wolf pack, you've got to get to werewolf status. That's an immortal wolf. So in order to potentially make money to buy the Lambo, you would have to take $440,000 of your Wolfie's hard-earned money. You're going to end up putting that into an investment asset. From there, you're going to take out a loan at what we would say 90% loan to value. That means that you can take out 90% of the value of the asset you're taking it out against. If you're doing this against a house, let's say, you would be able to get 75 to 80% out, which would mean you'd need to have more than $440,000 of equity in. But for this example, I'm doing 90% loan to value because, hint, hint, I'm creating something that should allow you to do this. So you take the $390,000 out, you put that into something like Anchor Protocol earning 20% interest, and then that is going to cover the car payments for the Lambo. So you go in, you put some money down, and you buy your Lambo, and you start making the payments. But now, because you've taken out this loan of $390,000, you need to start paying 4% simple interest. Simple interest means the interest doesn't compound. Whatever amount of money is left on the loan, essentially you pay 4% on that versus the total. Maybe this is 4% compound. But anyways, you've got $390,000 loan that you're paying 4% interest on. So if it was simple interest, you didn't pay any of it off, you just paid it all off in one lump sum at the end of the 5 years, then you would have paid $78,000 in interest at 4% over 5 years. Now, while that's happening, while your loan is accruing interest that you owe, your investment asset is compounding gains. At 4%, if you have the investment asset that has equal to, or the gains are more than the interest rate you're paying, then you've got a nice little spread, which I'll show you here. So 4% compound interest, $440,000. You've essentially, the gains you would make, the amount you would earn is $95,327 after 5 years, which is how long it would take you to pay off this Lambo. So the difference between what you had to pay for the debt to buy the Lambo and what you earned off of your investment to be able to get the debt to buy the Lambo is $17,327. So you eliminated opportunity cost with this setup, or at least you eliminated the opportunity cost that we talked about before. And instead, you have now created an income. You've created essentially an arbitraged profit. So you would get paid $17,327. You have the Lamborghini, and you still have your full $440,000 original investment. So this is what a werewolf does. This is what Immortal Wealth does. This is how you can get paid to buy whatever you want to buy. This, if you can practice enough restraint, the broke person would get the Lamborghini so that they can look rich. The real immortally wealthy, truly rich person, they figure out a way to earn $440,000. They then figure out a way that they can earn money to own this thing that they really want. So it takes a little bit of restraint. It probably takes you a lot longer to get to buying the things that you want to have. But the thing is, in the end, you have a lot more to show for it. So hopefully this was eye-opening. Hopefully this was clear. If anything about this was unclear, feel free to just hit me up in the Wolfden, in the Wolfies community. I'm happy to clarify anything. Happy to reshoot this if it was completely unclear, but I think I did a pretty good job. So you let me know. If this ends up on the YouTube, as the people say, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Anyways, peace out, Cub Scouts.